Eye in the Sky, 2015 100. Pre-development list the following: the world and setting of the story. Present-day Southern California with a few flashbacks to post-9/11 rural Afghanistan. The 5 to 8 main characters of the story including the protagonist and antagonist, what their respective backstories are and why/how they come together. Primary characters: Capt. Rhett, Charles, Chauncey, Ponce. A former AF intelligence officer, master interrogator and record-holding sport parachutist who blew the whistle on illegal orders and did jail time as a result. He struggles with PTSD, suicidal ideation, and recreational drug use, but he knows what is right and is willing to fight for it. He's graying, grizzled and headed towards a dad bod, but he still knows some physical and mental tricks to outsmart his adversaries and win. Thomas Gibson, 55, C:/Armagon, a MIT-trained Ph.D. mechanical engineer/robotics genius who was maimed as a child in Afghanistan when he and his family were caught in the crossfire between Americans and the Taliban. He's immigrated to the United States to work on defense contractor robots and prevent the failures which killed his loved ones. He has a high-tech prosthetic leg. Works for Nels Green. Mustafa Haydari, approximately 23 in the book. C/Special Agent Douglas Miles Breskin, a psychologist with a Ph.D., he's Chauncey's philosophical counter. He expedited enhanced interrogation techniques during the global war on terrorism seeking to protect the greater good. Now he works for the FBI and he needs Chauncey's help, they are not friends. Ketwood Smith, 74, according to book Asian Eyes, dumpy Joe Pesci type, but I like Smith's sliminess, see Clarence Boddicker in RoboCop, C:/user Tom Carby, a former army soldier and another robotics whiz. He is, counterintuitively, opposed to the increased use of government surveillance drones and law enforcement robots. He protests and undermines the Warco's activities at every opportunity. Michael Wincott, 59, according to book 6 feet 5 inches with bald head and red goatee, Wincott is better, C/Marcella Craner, her name is spelled Kramer on page 97, 99, 102, The Spider-Woman. An investigative journalist for an online news service and Chauncey's ex-wife. She is a dogged reporter possessed with exposing the truth, regardless how ugly it may be. Stephanie Sigman, 30, oops, I thought she was Hispanic, may have to adjust, according to book 38, 5 feet 10 inches blonde, bombshell with blue eyes, alternate selection Rosamund Pike, 38. C:/users Rich, Killa, Killingsworth, a retired Navy SEAL and among Chauncey's closest friends. He's one part Jesse Ventura and one part Larry the Cable Guy. Still deadly with any gun, knife or explosives. Michael Madsen, 58. C:/Special Agent Gordon Zellner, a junior FBI operator, he's stuck in the middle of something far bigger than he can handle. Platoon's PVT Taylor in the midst of SSG Barnes and SGT Elias. Robin Gordon Levitt, 36, listed in the book as 26 YRS old in 2017. C:/Secondary characters Warco CEOs, defense contractors. Chauncey is hired to train them to resist interrogation. While in the midst of those training sessions, Chauncey learns of a growing conspiracy propagated by the military-industrial congressional complex. Conver equals Victor Garber, 68, Nels Green equals David Harwood, 51, Senator Stevens equals Thomas Jane, 48, Walter, Didier, a former Navy SEAL/underwater demo expert with a wife and 2 daughters. He keeps a man cave near Coronado. He's got his cars, guns, and alcohol there. According to the book 5 feet 10 inches, Phil, Connor's another veteran and friend of Chauncey's. Ferocious, he's struggled with PTSD too, but he advocates for those who are suffering. Dr. Kay Adams, a psychologist and former service member, a Navy explosive ordnance disposal expert. She was raped and beaten twice, 6 times according to page 214, by her supervisor, then discharged. She was a homeless addict before she got help and then went back to school. She's called a SPC on page 207, 212, none of those in the Navy. No sergeants either, page 138. Overweight and aged beyond her years, estimated at 30 plus. Shane Huffle, page 205, Hoff on page 223, 226, BD Director for a Warco. Jay Baruchel, 35, C:/. What 5 things about your main protagonist/antagonist are the most important for an audience to know? Former Air Force intelligence officer and master interrogator, a whistleblower who went to jail for his convictions, he's unemployable in his field battling PTSD, suicidal thoughts, and reliance on medical marijuana. A Boy Scout at heart, he's prepared and stridently believes in the foundations of our government. He's battling age and injury but still capable of lethal actions. He doesn't fight fair. The major core conflict of the story and why/how this occurs. A retired seer, survival, evasion, resistance and escape, instructor struggles with his past and the challenges of a modern world where politicians, military leaders and high-powered CEOs conspire to undermine our national freedoms with all-seeing eyes in the sky and murderous robots on the ground. Capt. Retired, Charles Chauncey Ponce is an unwilling hero with Neo-James Bond skills. His last shot at redemption results in an almost inescapable web of deceit and double crosses. From my Amazon review, the most visual and key scenes in the book that connect to how that conflict plays out. Rose Bowl football attack. Armageddon's family is killed in Afghanistan. Chauncey attempts suicide by parachute at his local jump zone. Chauncey trains the CEOs at a Google-like business park. Assassination attempt against Chauncey, his desert home. Chauncey paraglides into Carby's coastal enclave. Chauncey escapes the car after Armageddon's adoptive family is murdered. Marcella is murdered in a San Diego taco dive. The lifestyle attacks. Bat mitzvah, graduation, Eagle Scout made at work in the bowels of a hideout. The cliffside climax at the Tuscanlite home of Your 10 to 20 favorite lines of dialogue that drive the plot, are vital to the story or character development and that really shine. 1. Chauncey, you're a disgrace and you've betrayed the men and the country you pledged to protect. 2. Chauncey, I'll sear up your CEOs and whoever else you need me to help keep alive. 3. Chauncey, if I'm doing this, it's 100% my way. Now tell your mop-up man here to lower his weapon before I open a can of Guy Savelli Kuan Tao on his ass. 4. Chauncey, this is not a joke, Chauncey snapped. Your associate in the trunk went in there willingly and now he's starting to freak out. You need to keep your wits. You are all thinking men, so never, ever lose your capacity for cool, calm reason. 5. Carby, Kaczynski was a theorist. I'm not. I was in Iraq and Afghanistan, said Carby. I saw some of the diabolical things that robots did. A lot of it is good, yes. But a whole lot more of it is bad. I'm just saying that Americans need to engage and see that their tax dollars are being used in ways that aren't exactly American. 6. Breskin, Mr. Sorrentino, you don't know me at all, so, for your edification, I have the dubious distinction of having conducted many interrogations in Afghanistan, Iraq and other undisclosed places. Very intense interrogations. That experience has taught me that having patience is not only a virtue, it's a necessity. 7. Chauncey, Chauncey spoke gently, yet firmly to Green. Your family is safe. Your wife and daughter were never in any danger. They volunteered to do the tape because they understood it was being made to save your life. To help you stay strong. 8. Chauncey, destined to share the history books pages with the likes of Edward Snowden, Bradley Manning and the other truth-tellers was something that would be Chauncey's fate. Yet he'd known that and still decided that the things he'd seen and been asked to do were wrong. Criminally wrong. Oaths and time-tested codes had been broken. Laws ignored. People's lives destroyed. Although it had cost him dearly, the secrets that he brought to the public were vital. Yes, he'd suffered for bringing them to light, but the truth had set him and many others free. 9. Chauncey. You are no longer in control of your destiny. You are in their hands. They have complete control. They know if you speak the truth. They control everything, your sleep, your food, your air. Even your body. 10. Chauncey, okay, mate, said Chauncey. You can tell whoever the hell it was that tried to off me that it didn't work. I am alive. I am unhurt. And I am really pissed. 11. Carby, much has changed since you, me and Breskin went all loopy in the sandbox. Things are even more out of control now. The lunatics are running the asylum if you know what I mean. You managed to stop some of us crazies by going public. Thank you, by the way. It took bull balls and you were right, but there's other stuff that's going on. Bad stuff. 12. K. Adams, sir. There is an improvised explosive device inside one of the presents for your no doubt piece of shit son. It is on a timer. If you cannot find and defuse the device in 10 minutes it will go off. There are also radio-activated triggers on the device, so if anyone makes a cell phone call, a text or even a Facebook post it will go off. And, lastly, if anyone tries to leave the room or rush me, I will detonate the bomb myself. She looked at the CCTV cameras and added, that includes any security or police intervention from outside. She held up her cell phone to accentuate her point. 13. Breskin, A.S. Cheney, right now you only need some dental work, Mr. Hoff. I could give you a card for someone, said Cheney. But one more twist of the vice grip and your eyes will literally pop from their sockets. I don't know any ophthalmologists who could help you after that. 14. Shane Hoff, is God guilty of murder for creating the stone you'll use to kill me? Cheney stared Shane in the eyes, the right side of his lip lifting into a sneer. Breskin, A.S. Cheney, an excellent question. Feel free to ask Abel when you see him. 15. Carby and protesters, cries of, stop the lies, we reap what we sow, stop the drones, kill the engineers. And more were chanted louder and louder. 16. Carby, you may not be as guilty of fearmongering as the other members of the Fifth Estate, but you are guilty of asking the wrong questions to the wrong people. Now if you'll excuse me little lady, outrage and anger are in my wheelhouse so I got to roll. 17. Breskin. GW had the guts to take off the gloves in Iraq. Let's take off the gloves here. They're whining that the Patriot Act needs to be pulled back, but I don't think it's enough. We need to constitutionalize the Patriot Act, get rid of FISA and untie NSA's hands. And we damn sure need to tell the FAA to deregulate UAVs. Those things are the best surveillance tool ever invented. I'd have one of them tailing every messed up vet in the country. 18. Breskin, you know the old expression, those that can't do teach? Asked Breskin. Ponce didn't have the stomach to do, but I did. So mind your tone or you may just end up in a place where the goal is not education. 19. Chauncey, what happened is that you just signed your death warrant, mate. Your boys are history. I know what's going on and now I'm going to end you like I ended them. 20. Breskin, not to worry. Not only did we get rid of Marcella Craner so he didn't have whistleblower outlet, but now he's on our most wanted list as an accomplice to Carby. He hightailed it to Mexico like a scared chihuahua. We've seen the last of him, trust me. Another error, Times listed as PTSD, instead of PSDT. And at 330 the major overarching theme of the book. Those who would give up essential liberty, to purchase a little temporary safety, deserve neither liberty nor safety. Benjamin Franklin 1755, funny, I forgot this was in the book, I called it out earlier today before rereading page 94, delivery to another exercise. This determines the logline, the 1 to 2 lines that summarize the plotline and the greatly simplified 3-act structure where one starts with the third act and works backward. Logline. Rogue members of the military-industrial congressional complex government conspire to kill, surveil and control the public with airborne drones and ground robots. Only a washed-up Air Force intelligence officer can stop them. Act 3. Charles Chauncey Ponce unravels the rogue plot and brings his nemesis to justice. Act 1. During a time of escalating terrorism in Southern California, Capt. Ret. Charles Chauncey Ponce, a washed-up Air Force whistleblower who did jail time for revealing state secrets, is recruited to train high-powered defense contractors to resist interrogation and survive with honor. Act 2. Chauncey is betrayed again and repeatedly escapes death and capture while investigating who is behind an increasing tempo of disturbing veteran-orchestrated violent attacks. Act 3. With the help of his lifelong Navy SEAL buddies, he confronts the rogue government cadre, stops the ensuing chaos, and achieves redemption, however brief. Delivery 3. Notice that you don't have to mark act breaks, they are implicit. Classic film structure is 3-act. In a 100-page script Act 1 would be, roughly, the first 25 pages, Act 2 the middle 50 pages and Act 3 the last 25 pages. In Alien the Act 1 break is probably Kane being attacked by the alien and the Act 2 break the discovery that Ash is an android and has been protecting the alien, letting his shipmates die and trying to murder Ripley when she discovers the truth. Competitive analysis Bourne Films. 123 minutes, 115 minutes, 135 minutes, 108 minutes, 118 minutes, not in order, Hannah Film, 111-minute Bond Films, Daniel Craig era 148 minutes, 143 minutes, 106 minutes, 144 minutes, not in order, Clancy Films, 135 minutes, 117 minutes, 141 minutes, 124-minute Drone Films, https://Eye in the Sky, 2015 102 minutes, $34.6 million box office against a $13 million budget Good Kill, 2014 102 minutes, $1.47 million box office, goal, 130 minutes equals 130-page script. 1 Marketing tack, older patriots band together to stop the evil conspiracy of rogue government operatives. Akin to past their prime films like Red, Wild Hogs, Las Vegas, Space Cowboys.